ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to episode 9 of A Tale of Wizards and Bribes. Over here on my left, you see Alberto and Nafmi, who should be pretty familiar to you, and who also might be pretty familiar to many of you. Down below me here is cKnoor. Hi there.
Hello.
Thanks for joining in. So, today we're going to be playing yet another episode of Dungeons & Dragons in the Blood Bowl universe, and cKnoor is making, what is for now a guest appearance. So, we'll see Alberto the Rogue in action soon. Allard, do you want to kick off with a quick recap, maybe?
Yeah, let's do that. So, we are playing in the world of Blood Bowl, where politics are dominated by the game. Siegfried and Alexei are working for Galen von Raukov, and now actually Alberto is as well, to make sure that Lenkster Shield is successful. Last time, Alexei and Siegfried found the goblin Stock, who works for Orkidas. Sadly, his brother Kukta had been killed. On their way, they encountered the incredibly dangerous orc Ramzog, and a Lyria elk who spied on Alexei and Siegfried, but also helped them. They also met an ogre named Carrie, who seemed very dutiful and wanted to help his goblin masters. And that was basically it. So
that was a quick intro. I like it.
Yeah, fairly. So a little bit about how we're going to do things today. Since we're at a point that we can't easily introduce Alberto, we'll very quickly go to this last part of this part and then move on to the next part where we can introduce Alberto. Right?
Awesome.
Okay. So we ended with you guys in the cave. You had beaten the Dwergar. You had found some loot.
Yes, we did.
Alexei has also found some loot which hasn't been told about on the stream. Nafmi, would you like to tell the viewers about what you found?
I found a pretty necklace. It was amazing.
Bling.
It's seriously bling. It's gold and everything. I'm wearing it right now. There goes my stealth out the door because it's like jingling, jangling all the way around.
Nice.
It's going to be awesome. Apparently it has some interesting traits as well, which I'll be trying to discover as we go.
Right. So it's a bit of a mystery, but Alexei might have a new power that he can use. And you had found Stock, whom you have talked about to, and obviously Siegfried also found his book, which he's very happy with, I believe. And it's kind of at this point, because Siegfried has been working with his book, and I guess Alexei has kind of been keeping an eye on the exit of this part of the cave, and also kind of dealing with Stock. It's kind of at this point that the girl who introduced herself as Iliera walks in on all of you.
I hate her.
And well, she looks at what the situation is, and she smiles and says, "Oh, you're over here. That's good."
Yep.
Yes.
And you're welcome.
She looks confused at you. I have to go back and tell Carrie. Oh.
That bit where you didn't die because you didn't trigger that trap? You're welcome. See ya.
Yeah. So what's the goblin's name again, Allard?
Stock.
Stock or Sock?
Yes.
Stock. All right, cool. So Stock, this way to the exit. Come along.
All right. So Stock walks along with you. And the girl seems sort of confused about the situation. She kind of just...
I would be confused if I were her as well. But I think that's a general state of mind.
I have that effect on people.
That's all you.
Anyway, you go outside and you find the ogre there, Carrie.
Before we run out, we go, it's okay. It's us. Don't hit us. Because I told him to keep guard with his club over at the side of the entrance. I want to make sure that he knows not to hit the first thing coming out. It's an ogre after all.
Well, you come out and he looks a bit with furrowed brow at you at first, and then he sees Stock, and he smiles, and he grabs the small goblin, who goes, "No, don't, not roughly," and he just gives him a great big hug.
Did we bring the corpse of the other goblin, or do we leave that there?
It's up to you.
Yeah, I'm not
Weren't they
sure
brothers
because
or something.
yeah, but that's
They-
the thing. I don't
they
think
were.
Stock was really worried whether or not we brought the corpse or not.
He didn't bring it up.
No, that's the thing. Okay, you as a wizard, can you use goblin bits for anything?
You can use bits of anything for stuff, I suppose, but
I'm not really big into necromancy.
Oh, necromancy. I don't know. No, I'm supposing we left the corpse. I'm good.
yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, he's very happy to see him in one piece. He says after a moment, though, he kind of looks at you and he makes it clear that he is a bit concerned about the young woman not being there. But when she walks out, he sort of accepts that Kukta is dead, and seems happy enough that at least Stock and all of you are alive.
Cool.
So, Carrie, how about we go back and we find you your nice snowshoes, and head back over and see if we can fix that cart?
Good. We all go back together.
Sounds like a plan.
Well, not all of us. She's not with us.
Yeah, she's like a loner. She's the type of girl who like walks off into the sunset and never comes back at all.
She doesn't do team rerolls. Nope.
He looks at her, kind of like, "Is this true?" And she kind of shrugs her shoulder. I like people, but I think that's okay. I'll follow or something. Well, maybe I won't. I don't know.
This is truly the worst spy in the world.
She's pretty embarrassing, yes.
Gary says,
You know what worries me though? This might be like an act, and she might be the best spy ever.
Gary pats her on the head and says, "Just don't get hurt." Oh, she kind of nods at him. Okay, Gary says, "Let's go."
So as we move, I approach Stock and say, "I'm sorry about your loss. How attached are you to this ogre? I'm so diplomatic."
He's like the brother I never had.
But you
So
Wait.
you don't care?
wait. If the brother he had, he doesn't care about, and this is the brother he never had, this
Yes.
might be the brother he cares about, or at least the
Look.
one he wants to keep around.
I think it would be a good idea if you talk to Galen. I mean, Count von
Yes.
Raukov. I mean, Lord. Titles are complicated. If you talk to von Raukov, because I'm sure he has some interesting
Money.
business propositions
He has
for you.
money. Yeah, he probably does have some money. I say.
Actually, we might have an interesting sponsorship opportunity for you. And I look over to Alexei and say way too loudly, "No, he's the one we're getting the money from, remember?"
Ah, that's how it is. Yes, that does make sense.
Yeah, probably does. But as in that we saved you and all, I think we might have some cred, So come on.
Oh, believe me, I will be very happy to talk to Galen von Raukov. After what you two did, well, perhaps a sponsorship wouldn't be such a bad idea.
Cool. I might get
Will
some
you
new
be
sneakers.
working for the team longer?
I hope
we
so.
are assistant coaches, so yeah, I'm guessing we will.
Ah, it's a good sign.
Isn't it?
The two of you look like golden geese to me.
I'm going to go ahead and take that as a compliment because I'm not smart enough to know if he's like playing with me.
Hij klopt je. He kind of taps you on the shoulder and says, "Whenever you speak," well, actually, it's not really your shoulder; it's more kind of your back. And he says, "Whenever you speak, it is as though coins come from your mouth."
That is really creepy, but I'm going to go ahead with that. Let's go.
I tried that as a trick on stage once, but it didn't go over well. So, about that ogre. Is he in your permanent employ?
He gestures for you to lower yourself a bit to his height. And he says, to be honest, most ogres are very dumb.
He is very subtle.
To be honest, most people are too.
Well, I wouldn't know about that. Or maybe I do, but anyway, ogres are even worse. So this one, he's just scary. It might be hard to believe, but as far as ogres go, he's a genius. He hasn't stepped on me once.
He's a pro ogre. Awesome.
Proger.
Well, perhaps.
Galen might be interested in him too. We'll see.
I'll talk it over with Galen.
Excellent.
I mean, I would rather not lose him, but, well, we'll see.
It might be mutually beneficial.
In the interest of group stuff, I propose we get going.
Yes.
Sure.
So I'll kind of quick forward through all of this. You go back past Wolfenburg on the way. Somehow nothing eventful happens, and you get back to Ristead.
You'll find that Siegfried's often whispering into his book and using arcane chants and trying to exchange information with this book that's apparently whispering in his ear as well.
Are you being in any way subtle about this?
Do you know me at all?
All right, cool.
All right. So when you get back to Ristead, you go back to the castle. And at the castle, I'll quickly move the marker over. Hold on. So you guys move over to the castle. For some reason, the token doesn't seem to be moving, but I'm trying to move where you are, but it seems to be... here we go. Okay, so you move to Castle Lenkster. You very quickly see Von Rokov, and he talks to you all for a little while, and he seems very happy. And sort of as the conversation with the four of you together draws towards an end, he says to you, after this is done, tomorrow, I've got something else for you to look into. It's another important mission. I wish I could have given you guys a few days rest between, but this is important. And
likewise.
After this, you get some rest, I promise. But
I've
for now,
so much coinage out of this mission, and I'm not even getting the time to spend it.
Yeah, you both also got, as I spoken about earlier, each of you receives 1,000 gold in as a reward for your efforts. So that is a nice big reward.
Can I get it in like one big coin? I'll just roll through the streets of Lenkster.
No, I don't think that would be possible. But he gestures to one of his servants who goes off and returns. And he returns with someone just behind him, a very dashing-looking figure.
Ooh. Let's have a look at this figure. There we go.
And it is this man.
He looks awesome.
Yes. He does. You're stricken by, of course, by his awesomeness. He actually comes forward and shakes your hand and introduces himself as Alberto. It's very nice to meet you. I've heard things.
You have you?
I grin and I say, probably if it's about him, it's mostly bad. If it's about me, it'll probably be some kind of good.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Yes, let's.
Siegfried
So,
Weber.
Alberto.
Galen says, Siegfried, Alexei, this is Alberto. He's one of my most trusted agents. He
Cool.
knows a lot. He's very capable. And the thing I would like to ask you to do next is something I think you could really use his expertise in. I don't really have the time to explain it to you now, but if you want, use this evening to get to know each other. And tomorrow morning, I'll explain what this is about. What I can say now is that it has something to do with the talent day that's coming up.
Talent Day. Do
Day.
we know of this?
Yes, you do. It's something relatively new. It's been introduced a few years ago, and it's kind of where they scout new players.
Ah. Are you a Blood Bowl player by any chance, Alberto? I look at him skeptically.
No, just a fan like everyone else. I mean, everyone likes a good, match, especially those that are slightly more of the bashy kind. You can get some great deals just standing behind the, outside of the stadium, waiting for the players getting served to, fall down up from the nosebleed stands. Then you
You
don't
secondhand
catch them
armor.
because you get crushed, but there's getting some slightly used Blood Bowl armor. You're usually able to resell it.
And if it's worn by someone famous, yeah. Okay.
I've heard about this.
Yeah, I'm also. Since we're friends and all at this point, I definitely suggest if halfling teams are visiting, because A, they get surfed a lot, and 2, their armor is less heavy, and 3, turns out halflings are kind of like to be well protected.
Well, Galen sees that you guys seem to be getting along, and he gestures to Stock, and they go to his chambers to talk.
I imagine them moving backwards as we speak, like really slowly. And every time we look, they're like more farther away.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. He seems quite pleased, actually. He seems he sees you talking, and he seems, I think this is going to work.
All right. Talent Day. All right, cool.
So, Alberto, the Lord mentioned that we might have need of your talents. Could you tell us a little bit about what those might be?
Dude, are you blind? Look at him.
People like me.
Yes, and they don't like you.
And they also, I also check this thing out. And
Opposable
then,
thumbs.
And then I plucked a coin from behind his ear using my sleight of hand.
Okay, I'm going to make that an opposed sleight of hand because I have that too. And I want to make the coin be a different one than he thought he would have. That seems like fun.
Wow.
So let's go to my sheet.
Okay, so I'm one of the wiser people in this group, but I am the dumbest probably in this group as well.
Mm-hmm.
How is this going to go for me?
You're going to be confused, probably.
Probably. So let's see the sleight of hand. Oh, that's
I
impressive.
credit it. That's awesome.
All right.
I don't think I can beat that.
Please do. Please do.
No, I don't think I can. Let's see.
That's an impressive sleight of hand.
Oh, that was close. That was really close.
Yeah.
Jeebus.
All right.
I didn't roll a 20. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Anything but
your gold coin has been replaced by a copper.
I give it to Namphy. Or Alexei, here you go.
that's fine. That's amazing.
Well, despite
I
you
say you
being
must
able-
be a wizard. My friend here's a bard.
I'm a wizard!
About spell stuff.
even though you were able to pull off something pretty amazing there, it was clear that he is very fast with his hands. He isn't just an average, showman or something.
Okay. I guess that could be useful. Especially
Oh, I'm very useful.
Yeah. I've seen people like you on stage before. They stole all my customers even though I could do real magic.
Real magic is overrated.
Real magic doesn't exist.
It's also very costly, comparatively.
Well, I'll leave the next lightning bolt or fireball on the pitch to you then.
Do you know how much a lightning bolt costs?
Yes.
Exactly. Real magic is costly, is what I'm saying.
Damn guild fees.
Half a slibly.
Half a what?
Anyway.
So what have you guys been up to then? Because apparently you've been doing work for my friend over here.
Yeah.
Well, I say friend, employer, still.
Mm-hmm.
No. I get what you're doing. Calling me a friend is a good thing. It gets you into places. Now, talking about places, how about we continue this conversation in any type of pub? Please.
All right. I think that
he
sounds
hasn't
like
had a drink for like 2 days. Doesn't sit well with him.
It doesn't sit well with anybody. I mean, there are certain pubs that need my patronage to even exist.
Well, I would argue that there are definitely certain pubs you don't want to be sober in, but I feel like that has more to do with the quality of the pub rather than,
Yeah, I know what you mean. Those are the pubs I go to after I drank all the other ones.
Right.
Excellent. I've got 1,000 gold pieces. I'm going to get exceedingly drunk. See if you guys can keep up.
Alexei, could you not say that so loudly when we're outside, please?
I thought we were still standing in the middle of a castle.
Yeah, which is why I'm telling you now and not when we're outside, because
you
then
see
it
a
would be
guard
too
looking
late.
very envious.
Yeah. So, Siegfried, I whisper, would you like me to steal his money so he doesn't drink all of it?
No, we're good. I say it, but I do give you your gold coin back, by the way.
I mean, we could play the visit to the bar, which would be fun, but I'm quite eager to move on to the next day. Are you guys cool with that?
I'm fine with that.
Fine.
Okay.
Let's say that Alberto spends the evening impressing us, and I make a
impress
fool of
all of you with
myself.
drinking.
Yes.
Yes.
Alberto doesn't drink that much, by the way. It's not that he doesn't drink, but he doesn't drink that much.
Alexei tends to drink as much as he can hold, which is a lot
He compensates.
for everything.
He's like,
Mental
you don't
pain.
drink so much. That's fine.
Siegfried just leers after the bar wenches mostly.
Which probably leer after Alberto.
Yeah, there was this bar wench who was totally fixated on Alexei, but now she's like, oh my goodness, I've got 2 dashing gentlemen to choose from. So she's like, okay, what should I do?
You'll probably both catch some pretty dark looks from me every now and then.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Then we know we're doing it right.
All right. So the next morning, you return to Lenkster Castle, which is still a very nice place to be. And you go to meet Galen. And you walk in, and he's reading a book. And, as you walk in, he puts the book away and says, gentlemen, wonderful. Take a seat.
What's the book? Is it interesting?
It's a book about bloodbowl tactics.
Majorly interesting.
Yeah, I'll do.
When he sees that you're looking at the book, he says, I don't think I'll ever be a coach. But
Aw. It
Yeah.
says something about this world when a lord of a district is sad that he won't be a Blood Bowl coach.
no, he
All
doesn't.
my life, I always had.
He doesn't seem sad about it. He sort of says it whimsically. He says, but it's good to know what it takes to be successful. So, I promised you I would tell you what I wanted. So here it is. There's going to be a talent day, and it's going to start. Well, the proper talent day will be in 2 days, but it's probably best if you guys leave today, so that you're in time for the meet and greet as well.
That sounds like fun.
It probably is.
Well, I've never been to one, but I hear that it's something that's proven quite useful in the past, and especially for a team such as ours. The thing that we're lacking more than anything is proper players.
And the coach.
Basically, what Lenkster Shield has right now is the name and the logo.
Do you say the coach? Do you say that aloud?
Yes.
He looks at you, and there's a moment that he doesn't say anything, but then he just keeps on talking. For now, we'll focus on the players. This talent day, the way it works is as followed. There's going to be players there. Most of them have studied at the nearby school, and they will display their skills in front of several scouts. I expect 6 or 7 teams to send scouts to view. Afterwards, when the players have shown what they can do, the next day, everyone can pick players. Most of the time, the players will accept the offers they receive, and they will join whatever team picks them. Now, the key obviously is knowing which players are good and which players are bad. And from what I've gathered, this is a very hard thing to do. Most people who see someone run on the field and throw a few passes don't really know how good a player actually is. So it takes a bit of research. And this is what I want you to do.
Research, that sounds quite doable. Would you
Sounds
like
like
me
books.
to test their blood or?
Well, I hadn't considered that option. I mean, I think this kind of research is a bit different. Maybe I should explain a bit more before I go into that. I think that the things you need to succeed at this are basically 4 things. You need to know how good the players are yourself. You need to know how good it depends on how good you are at knowing what players are good. It depends on how well the opponents know what players are good. It depends on the draw, and it depends on how well you know what the others know. Do you follow what I'm saying?
I think Alexei just left the room.
So, what exactly do you just want the information on who's actually good, or do you want us to make sure that you can get the good players?
No, I want you to do everything. I want you to go to the talent day.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to
Find out
basically be the
who's good.
scouts. And then when the draw happens, I want you to pick the best players.
Okay.
I want you to make sure that the other teams don't pick the best players. And obviously that's going to be difficult because they will be trying to do the same thing.
So if
We need to
were
deceive
make
the other-
yeah. So if we
So
make bad players look good and or good players look bad, that might benefit us greatly.
That's a way to do it. I mean, I think there's a lot of things you could focus on. There's a lot of ways to gather information. You say a blood test. That's something I think will be hard, but I'm sure that there are a lot of ways that you can get extra information on players. So that would be one way. What you're mentioning now is making sure that the other scouts have wrong information so that they'll make wrong guesses. That's also a good way to go about it.
Do we know who these other scouts are?
I've been trying to learn, and I think I know to a degree, but I'm not sure about all of them. I'm fairly certain that Edwin Ross will be appearing.
Is this name known to us?
Yes, you know Edwin Ross. Edwin Ross is the owner and coach of a team called the Debt Collectors. And the Debt Collectors are, basically a team that he created from the ground up a few years ago. He was basically in the past a wealthy merchant and then used his money to buy up good players and created a team, which has been very successful recently.
So he's rich enough to just get anyone he wants? Is that what this is?
Well, the way the draw works is that it's pretty straightforward. Say there's 5 teams, and one team is first in drawing. He gets a pick first, and then second, third, onwards, and then the first team gets a pick again, and this keeps going until a team doesn't have any money anymore.
All right. So it's something like a draft system.
Yes, but it's not a snake draft as you might have imagined.
Mm-hmm.
So you just keep on drafting until they run out of money.
Yes.
So what determines the price of a player if there's no bidding?
All players are 50,000.
Okay.
So
Do they have to pay on the spot, or can they play later?
I like where you're going with this.
It's the paying is the only part where we can't really stand to cheat much. There is an imperial official who is present to overseeing that the payment goes well. So the money isn't brought on the spot, but an agreement is signed between the scout and the overseer, the local overseer, and the paper basically bounds the team to pay for the player.
And what happens to the players if a team can't pay that money at a later date?
And they are free to go, and the team will have to deal with some real trouble.
It would be very, very ironic if that were to happen to the Debt Collectors. Yes.
It would be. But the thing about it is this, the Debt Collectors have a lot of money. So it's likely that they'll be able to draw a lot of players. We will have 6 players to draw at most. And I'm not even sure we should do that because I have another offer I could consider.
Is it a really big ogre called Kerry?
Yes. Stock said that he would be willing to let Kerry play for us for 100,000.
He's a smart ogre. It sounds like a bargain.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a bargain. But these players, they could be good still. I think 4 picks should be enough.
Yep.
Agreed?
Yeah, sure.
All right. In that case, we'll sign Kerry, and we'll hope that you can pick up 4 other good players.
This Imperial Overseer person, do we know anything about his loyalty, his bribeability, dare I say?
The Imperial official, well, they're notorious for not being bribable as a whole, so that's what I know. I don't know who the official is. To be honest, I looked more into the other people who might be showing up. Most of the officials are very, very rigid. They lead a very simple lifestyle. And they are bound to serve the Empire, Blood Bowl, and...
My character just looks at Galen, completely not understanding how anyone in a position of power could be that way.
Well, he shrugs his shoulder at you and says, I know, They're bit of an oddity. But I think your time would be better spent to try to manipulate other parties that are present. Because, believe you me, there are a lot.
All right.
Manipulate, huh? I like it.
There are all the players that are there. I don't know too much about them, but I think you'll be able to figure that out when you get there. And then there's the other scouts. There's a few I'm pretty sure will be showing up. Like I said, Edwin will be there. There is a guy who's called Cool Guy 24.
Cool Guy 24.
What?
Yes.
All right.
It's a bit of a strange name. Together with Bad Boy 24.
I thought it was Cool Guy.
Are they brothers then?
They're brothers, yes.
The Cool Guy 24 clan.
Yes.
So Cool Guy and Bad Boy, what was it?
Yeah, Bad Boy and Cool Guy. They're brothers. And they've started a team quite recently called the 30-Day Free Trial. And
30 days.
Are those the Amazons?
Yes, I hear they have some very good players. I don't think the two of them are particularly good coaches, though. But, their players are good enough as it is. If they can pick up more good players, well, it'll be a problem for us.
To be fair, I could see why one might want to coach an Amazon team.
There you go again. That's why people don't like you.
I mean, the
Some
Regions
do.
get off the ground, and like the first season they usually play, they do well. Then, kind of, for some reason, they tend to, get injured quickly.
See, that's totally what I meant.
I'm going to go with that and just let's move on, please.
Right.
That's it.
Then I expect there to be a necromancer. I'm not sure which one.
Just
Okay.
a necromancer.
If I were a player being drafted for a team, and a necromancer would come up and say, "I'll have that one, please. Could you box it for me?" I would not be too happy.
That's true. And players are known to say no to an invitation.
Hell no.
It actually doesn't happen that often. The reason is, I think, a mix of things that players desperately want to join a team, and that's I think that might just be it.
On which team is the necromancer allied with?
Well, not as much allied with. He's probably going to be one of the co-owners. There's a cabal of necromancers who recently bought up a team called the Haunted Forest.
Aren't those elves?
Yeah, well, they used to be, but
Other dead elves.
2 seasons ago they led some incredible losses, and afterwards, well, a group of necromancers bought up the team. They resurrected a few players, and well, they had a few elves left. So that's how it goes. From what I hear, they want to buy up some new elves, because the old ones are sort of broken.
Falling apart.
So they're focusing
Right.
mostly on elves, right?
I think so.
Cool.
I also would expect that Cool Guy would be looking for Amazons.
How
Or
human
females, at least.
do you want to keep your team? Because I get that you want to represent the Empire and all that, but there are some really capable people out there who are not strictly entirely human.
I think that if our team is mostly human, it's good enough.
Right.
Mostly human.
I mean, right now we have only human players, so
And an ogre.
Will there be
Well, I
any
mean,
candidates from
pretty
the
normal.
Chaos Wastes partaking in this town day?
from what I've heard, there will only be humans and, mostly good-ish races. But, there might be. I would not want a chaos creature on our team.
Oh,
Good.
I see.
He looks at Siegfried a moment and shrugs his shoulders. I mean, a lot of people get uncomfortable around them. You know how it is.
But they've also got a lot of hidden powers.
Yeah. They're really bad at handling the ball, though. Like you never see good pass play with players afflicted by chaos.
I think your main problem is that you never get intact pieces of armor when they've played.
But mostly it's the beauty of the game that's ruined by chaos.
Yes, all the things he just said. I like this guy.
Everyone likes
likable.
this guy.
I'm liking him more and more. Be more like him, Siegfried.
To each their own.
Galen shrugs his shoulders. For now, that's the way it's going to be, at least. And as I said, I don't expect there to be many Chaos players there. They just wouldn't really fit in. I think that's about the other scouts that might be present. I think that's mostly what I can tell you for now.
Are we registered as scouts?
Yes, he produces a few cards and gives each of you one. And says,
We're like official now. Does it say assistant coach?
yes, it does.
Wow.
It says assistant coach / scout.
That's so awesome.
And
I
then they
haven't had an
spell
official
Siegfried
capacity.
correctly.
I haven't had an official capacity for a decade. I'm so pleased. I say this out loud.
I pat you on the back.
Cool.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine. So, let's go.
Good. Right. Well, best of luck to you.
So we've got a couple of days, right?
The meet and greet will be tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So if you leave today, you'll have a little bit of time before the meet and greet begins.
All right. I do think we have a couple of things that we should do
Yes.
regardless.
There are things I'd like to buy.
Okay.
Yes, you should have time for that.
Good. Would you like to know what I'm trying to buy? By the way,
I would like.
I would like to find some type of either a laxative or something that makes some type of medicine or pill that makes someone drowsy.
I think there's stuff like that.
It's
basically
in the poisons category, isn't it?
Yeah, basically stuff that I could use to, say, affect a refreshing tankard of Bloodweiser beer. So I'd like to find some of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think that Assassin's Blood might do something like that. Or maybe a less powerful version of it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want something too powerful. I just want something that would affect a player negatively enough that it shows.
Do you have poison proficiency?
No.
He'll be using it willy-nilly.
Well, that's all right. What's the worst that could happen?
Oh yeah, but that's the best player. Just give him some poison so he just doesn't perform as well.
I mean, worst case scenario, he's really hurt and no one's going to want him.
No,
Exactly.
worst case scenario is you lick your fingers while doing so.
I think you'll find that I always wear gloves, he says. Not showing gloves.
All right. Let's say you find something which is about 50 gold.
Mm-hmm.
And what it does is if you drink it, you get poisoned.
Yep.
And if you fail your save. And if you're poisoned, well, you're basically bad at stuff. So that should work, right?
Yep.
How about we also get some stuff that actually temporarily boosts somebody's skills? So we can
drugs.
yeah, something like
I bet there's performance enhancements abound in a world full of Blood Bowl.
Oh, yes. Those performance enhancers would be stronger, more costly at least. They are worth about 250 gold pieces.
Do we get to write an expense sheet for this?
Well, I mean, I'll make
No, you know what?
mark.
I'll take this, and if I don't use it, I'll keep it for myself.
Fair enough. Potion of full strength it is. So, are we done talking to Galen now, by the way?
Yes, I think
Okay,
so.
good.
So Galen closes up shop.
Yeah. So I do think I have some shopping of my own to do, but I think we'll just skip that and do that out of the session because it's boring. Alexei, that thing on your neck, I couldn't help but notice that it has some arcane effects. Oh, now that you mention it, that too. It's also magical. Could I have a look, please?
I look at you wary.
You know me well enough to know that if I were planning something bad, you'd be able to tell.
All right, fair enough. I hand over the necklace.
Yeah. So Siegfried finds a quiet spot and starts putting out wares and chanting and doing his whole ritual shenanigans. And you see him talking to the book a little bit about it because apparently,
if you start talking to my necklace, then things are going to get wrong.
I might actually start talking to your necklace, like, "Hey, who are you? What are you up to?" And after
As long as you
talking
don't
to the
call
book,
it a naughty boy or naughty girl, I think it'll be okay.
yeah, no,
Tinder
this
for
is a
magical
nice,
items.
This is a nice choker you've got here. Yeah, absolutely. Now, I actually talked to my book for a little bit and figure out how to do this. And I return the necklace to you and say, well, this is what it is, and this is how it works. Except I don't know, but Allard does, so he'll tell you.
And he did.
So that was a ritual identify without using a spell slot.
Well, it creates so that you know as well. It creates illusions. I'll keep it at that for now. But
Cool.
Nafmi knows the details, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I do too, because I just identified it.
Yes, but I thought it would be boring to go over the details.
Okay, fair enough. You can catch me up later.
Yeah. All right. So let's keep going. Is there anything else you guys want to buy or prepare before you go?
Fancy dress. If I'm going to look like be a scout, I want to look like one.
Yeah, I think that's about a very expensive outfit. I think is 100. Let me look up.
You'll wear this handkerchief around your neck and have a box of cookies?
Yeah, right. Girl Scout, I get it. I'm just getting some. I don't need expensive wear. I just want something a bit more classy than what I'm regularly wearing. I'm wearing a monk outfit right now.
Let's say it's 10 gold. I can't find it that quickly.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I think real courtiers outfits are like 75. So something just formal dress is probably somewhere between 10 and 25 or something. Not super expensive.
That should be fine. Cool.
Yeah. All right. Good. So are we all set?
Yeah, I've bought some level 1 spells, but I won't bother you with the details.
All right. Well, let's say you guys take 2 or 3 hours getting ready.
Mm-hmm.
You go get the horses, and the girl is there again.
This is so we've probably filled Alberto in about this during our evening. So the girl you didn't meet, the girl we talked to, was very, very clearly spying for some opposition team, and when we approach the stables, we'll say, "Hey, this is actually where we first met her," so that at least you know something about what's going on. I think.
She was nice enough to heal you as well, but.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Anyway, she smiles and says, "Oh, you're here again. Great." And, well, she gets you a few horses. And, well, they seem fine. And you go on your way.
So where is this Talon Day supposed to take place?
It's in Kienbaum, which is pretty close by.
All right.
So it's only a few hours. And if you look at the
I
map,
see. We're traveling
go
south.
boom,
There we go.
Kienbaum. We're there.
All right.
So
Yeah, I
fast.
love this fast travel thing.
Dude,
Yeah, it's
I-
pretty nice.
I propose that before we are in an environment with lots and lots of people around, that we
Hide
take
you?
some time to actually. You know what, Alexei? Never mind. You go make the plans.
Oh, don't
I'll
be like that.
I'll be reading.
So touchy, so touchy.
Well, I mean, so we need to figure out who's actually good.
Yeah. So, how many of us actually have an eye for that, Art?
Well, I think it will take more than one skill. Obviously, something like insight would be a useful skill to see how good someone is. Intelligence, maybe investigation to a degree.
I can
Social skills to a degree would also be helpful.
Mhm.
Just
I
talk
have-
to people, getting some information out of them.
I have some insight, and if I look objectively at the players, I could use animal handling. I mean, that could work. I'm
Well-
like, wow, that's a fine horse you got there. Talking about an orc, I know.
You are really
bull
into this
centaur.
getting a beastman stuff, you two.
Okay, I can't help myself. I try to stay away from this conversation, but you guys are hopeless.
We were doing fine. I was looking at my nature stuff and stuff.
Yeah, fine, fine. You say yes.
However, I do have insight. I see into things.
Okay.
So I guess we should just go to the meet and greet and see what we see, and
so-
try and figure out who we like and who we want to try and get.
Yeah, you should have a bit of time before the meet and greet, though, because you've almost reached Kienbaum, and now it's about 3 p.m. So you have a few more hours.
Are all the players staying in the same place for the meet and greet? Or?
Probably, but you're not sure.
Well, Kienbaum is a pretty tiny place, so might be.
It's not a big town, no.
I think it's important. We can discuss how to figure out who the best player is while we're there. I think the important thing is that if we want to do stuff that is slightly less
Legal?
overt,
Oh.
that too. Yes, thank you. That we're on the same page about what we want to do. I think we should plan, because once we're in town, stuff is going to be a lot harder to do illicitly.
Well,
And
I mean, the way I see it, we have kind of two options: either make the players we like perform worse, or somehow make the other scouts be worse at being able to decide who's actually good.
well, I have one thing I could do, because I have foreseen a smashing success, and I believe it might be someone who's not actually good who is going to perform admirably. So if I can find the
Okay.
right time, I can probably tell you that this performance was a fluke. Which means
Okay.
everyone's going to want to hire that guy because he does an amazing job. But we don't want to hire him.
Okay, but
We could also just let Alexei try out.
You
I
mean
could.
actually, but then wouldn't he be bound to be hired by a team?
Yeah, but he can say no.
No.
I'm not saying it's a smart idea. I would just enjoy seeing him try out.
I'm more than willing to try out.
Well, then obviously you wouldn't be entering as a scout.
Nope.
No.
But I would be able to mingle with the players.
I mean, I think you'd be able to do that anyways, right? As a scout, but
Maybe I get the least.
Well, you know it's not common to do something like that. But let's say that you came up with this plan a little earlier and asked Galen about it, or something like that. And Galen says, well, it is weird for something like that to happen, but it is possible for a player to back out before the draft happens.
okay, so it's before the draft and it doesn't really affect.
So you could partake in the talent day, and then just after the talent day is over, you could say, actually, I don't feel like I'm up to it, or something like that. Instead,
All right.
I already have a job.
That doesn't really stop our opponents from getting people we want. So I guess that's not a good idea then.
But we might be able to leverage Alexei's celebrity status, because aspiring Blood Bowl players are going to fawn all over this amazing former catcher.
Yeah, that is probably another other thing. It's very likely that people will know Alexei. So him coming back as a player, it will draw people's attention. I mean, they will know that he used to play, and they will also know that he doesn't play anymore, and why.
Yeah. So, having said that, I don't know if it's useful for me to actually join into the draft as well, either.
No, I don't think
I don't
so.
see it. No.
Yeah. I mean, if I was able to
yeah.
back out, that'd be good.
Yeah. The only thing it would be good if someone were to buy you and then it turns out you're not for sale and then they spent their draft.
Yes.
That's a good thought, but it won't work. Yeah. So we have a range of options in terms of sabotage, poison.
Yes, there's tons.
How about we play it differently? I mean, I'm gonna assume that they're going to try and sabotage us as well.
Ooh,
I mean,
good points.
So how about that we act out that when we get into it, when we get to Keybound, that I have a drinking problem, which I don't have. But when I start drinking, I start talking, and that you guys make a point of it for me to not talk as much.
And we try and keep you from drinking very publicly.
Exactly.
Or actually, Alberto tries to keep you from drinking very publicly. Because if I do it, it's going to be totally obvious.
Yep.
And then someone will actually think they can get you to talk. I like it.
Exactly. Maybe what give a way for what players we're looking for, or what we think are interesting picks, something like that, and maybe steer the competition the other way.
It's a very interesting plan. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I can try and stop you from drinking. Shouldn't be a problem.
All right. I think
Others?
also more. Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just thinking other things. Now that you mentioned that others might be trying to sabotage us, that is a very good point. We're going to be there for days. I do have some things that might help. I mean, obviously, detecting magic is going to be a frequent occurrence because we want to make sure that there's no other lesser wizards trying to interfere with us.
Yeah.
I have also prepared a spell which we can use to make sure anyone who tries to interfere with us when we're sleeping can be detected. So I do think I can help make us a little bit safer while we're there.
Safe is always good.
I guess Alberto might have a way around locks as well. Just guessing.
I mean, I don't really worry too much about locks.
That sounds good. All right.
There are no closed doors, just doors that open slightly slower than others.
Mm-hmm.
Slow handles, yes.
Yes.
Inconvenient.
So, do we have anything that we need to discuss when we know we're alone, or do you think we can wing the rest?
I'm pretty confident in winging it. In
Yeah, me
general.
too. Yeah, me too.
Also,
Me too.
I've got message, so we can actually talk in relative privacy even when we're in public.
No.
Okay.
Good. All right. So I'll move it over to Kienbaum.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys arrive at Kienbaum, and this is it.
This
Yes.
is it.
This is Kienbaum.
That
That
is
looks pretty.
lovely.
It's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. So Kienbaum, it's a relatively small town that has a lot of new homes, and it's has a lot of people working very hard. It has a relatively large dock area where several boats, 2 very large ones, are being filled with wood and other stuff. You can see a large stadium to one area, and a large school quite close to it.
And it has a pub that isn't named after an animal. Wow.
It's amazing, yes.
Oh, you mean it has one pub that's not named after an animal? I get it.
Yeah.
Just like this campaign does.
So, rules/lore question as
Yeah.
a player. So, in the sense that there's a temple to Nuffle here,
Yes.
in the world we're playing in, is he the 5th Chaos God or not?
Yes, he is.
Okay. So, it is a Chaos Temple.
It is, but even though Nuffle is considered a chaos god, he isn't considered like the others.
Okay.
So it's a bit weird. So
Because
it's
every
kind of like
level
a
player
truth.
will worship Novel a little, I guess.
Yes, it's a truth that people try to just forget for the most part. Let's put it like that. I mean, obviously a chaos player would be very happy to remember, but most other players in the Empire would be like, yeah, he's a chaos god, but he's not like the other chaos gods.
Okay. Fair enough.
So, you guys notice there is a list of other buildings that are also present here. And well, we'll
I
go
think
into that
it's-
later.
I think if Siegfried dies, my next character will be a cleric of Nuffle.
Yes, that's an interesting idea.
This would be the session for you to roll that perfect 10.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Before we go into the town, how about a 10-minute bladder and acetylcholine break?
that's good.
Sure.
All right, thank you.
All right,
Awesome.
you're back.
So, people on the YouTubes, this was episode 9, and we'll be back shortly with episode 10.
Alright YouTube, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, remember to leave it a thumbs up at the bottom. And of course, if you'd like to see more videos, do check out the channel and hit subscribe on your top right.